So David Corenswet kind of recently, the star of Superman, the guy who plays Clark Kent Superman, kind of made a claim on how to watch Star Wars and what he recommends to watch Star Wars. And I wholeheartedly agree. One of my videos earlier, I kind of showed one of my former students on watching Star Wars for the first time. And there's technically like three ways to watch Star Wars. You can watch order of release, you can watch chronological order, or you can watch sort of like a flashback method. It's kind of called the machete method. Um, I kind of like that method where you show the film in flashbacks. And what I mean by flashbacks is you'll start off with episode 4. Well, in my situation, I really like Rogue One. Um, Rogue One is probably the best Disney Star Wars project to ever come out. You start off with Rogue One, and the reason why you start off with Rogue One is you get to see the film um, show you how the rebels get the plans for the Death Star. Um, and that's kind of like cool. It's basically Star Wars version of Suicide Squad. Um, and then you start off with A New Hope, which continues right after. And you get the whole story of Luke, you get the story of Ben, Han, Leia, so on and so forth. After you watch episode 4, A New Hope, then you continue with Empire Strikes Back. And Empire Strikes Back has this big reveal that takes place. And I think it's kind of best watching it that way when you see the big reveal. And the big reveal is Darth Vader is Luke's father. It's a big reveal, probably worth watching. And then once you get to the big reveal, you could technically continue with Return of the Jedi, but with such a powerful moment, finding out that Darth Vader is Luke's father, then you continue with the prequels. You start off with the prequels. You do Phantom Menace, you do Attack of the Clones, and then Revenge of the Sith. And that's probably the best way so you can understand how Vader becomes Vader, like how Anakin Skywalker becomes Vader. Um, because what we see in the movies is that we are told that Anakin was killed by Vader, and then it turns out like not in a literal sense, but in a more figurative, spiritual sense, because Jedi religion. Um, and so after you finish Empire, after you finish the prequels, then you can conclude with Return of the Jedi. I think concluding with Return of the Jedi is probably the best way to go, just like David Corenswet mentioned. You don't watch the sequel trilogy, not because they're bad, just because it doesn't really fit the narrative, right? Um, Anakin's redeemed. Anakin fulfills the prophecy. When you watch the sequels, it doesn't feel like it really undermines the whole prophecy thing and bringing balance to the Force. They try to kind of like circumnavigate that in Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker, where in the background, Anakin tells Rey, bring balance to the Force again, just like I did. And it's like really subtle, but it's there to let you know that like, hey, it's bringing balance to the Force again. But I really think it undermines Anakin's redemption arc and how he was able to defeat the Sith, or defeat Sidious. And then finally, again, you conclude with Return of the Jedi. The Rebels win. The Rebels are the good guys. The Death Star is destroyed once again. And you get an excellent saga that way. If I was to make any modifications to this, I know Sam Witwer, Whitmer, the voice actor for Maul, kind of talks about his suggestions on how to watch Star Wars, and I think he mentions kind of showing some of the Clone Wars animated show before, so you get introduced to Anakin and Obi-Wan, which is fine. I'm not against that one. That one's a good idea too. I would actually probably just do Rogue One, A New Hope, Empire, then you do Phantom Menace, then you do Attack of the Clones, and then after Attack of the Clones, then you can show like the animated Clone Wars show movie if you want. And the reason why you do that, because it at least helps understand the relationship between Anakin, Obi-Wan, Padme too. Then you do Episode 3. You have another big reveal in Episode 3 if you do it this way, which is that Luke and Leia are brothers and sisters. Because when you watch Return of the Jedi, it kind of gets a little like out of place, or it feels out of place. Like they just like shoehorned in. But when you watch it that way, when Revenge of the Sith, and you find out that like, oh, Padme gave birth to twins, then then just seeing Luke being shocked that he has a twin sister makes sense. Yeah. And then you finish off with Return of the Jedi, and all is good in the world. And that's what I think you should do to watch the movies, and if you were to add a show in as well. Is there any changes else I would make? I would probably maybe... Andor's really good. Andor's probably the best show that Disney Star Wars made. You could watch Andor Season 1, 2, Rogue One, New Hope, Empire, Phantom Menace, then Clone Wars, and then the animated show, and then Revenge of the Sith, because at least you get that, you get the reveal about Luke and Leia being twins, and then you finish off with Return of the Jedi. You're more than welcome to watch the sequels, but it really just doesn't fit in the narrative, and it really doesn't give what you want when you see all three, Luke, Han, Leia together. And that's probably what I would recommend watching Star Wars for the first time, if and only if you know nothing about Star Wars, nothing, because Star Wars is so iconic that like everyone, a lot of people, even if no one has seen Star Wars, has at least know the line, "I am your father," and that kind of like just wholly ruins the movie for you or spoils the movie for you. And I wish as a kid that like I wish no one had told me that Vader was Anakin's dad. Let me help this guy out. And yeah, that's what I would recommend watching. And then any other changes? Nah, I think that's good. I think that's probably how you want to watch the movies, shows. You could watch the sequels, but I don't think it does anything well for the narrative of Star Wars. And yeah, that's what I recommend watching Star Wars for the first time. If you don't know anything about Star Wars. Now, if you already know about Star Wars, watch 1 through 6. If you don't know anything about watching or anything about Star Wars, watch Rogue One, A New Hope, Empire, then the prequels, 1, 2, 3. You could put in the animated show between 2 and 3, and then finish off with Return of the Jedi. And that's what I would recommend.